Well, hello and good afternoon. I want to welcome you to the 12 Steps to Escape Your 9 to 5. This is Kenny Pugh, and I'll be facilitating our training for this afternoon. Excited so many of you have taken time out of your schedule to participate in today's training and wanting to learn the 12 steps to escape your 9 to 5. And so hopefully I'll be able to answer your questions. Hopefully I'll be able to get you to the point where you can say, all right, I have the information that I need to move forward. And I'm looking forward to making taking that step or taking the plunge to make the escape from my 9 to 5. And so that's some of you. There are others of you who are on this particular webinar training and just wanting to figure out, okay, what are the steps that if I indeed at some point in the future want to make that transition, what would I need to do, or what would I need to keep in mind in order to make that transition a successful one? And so no matter where you are along your journey, no matter if you've already gotten your business up and running and you're just trying at this point to figure out what the next steps are to take you to a place where you are then able to make the transition from 9 to 5 to full-time entrepreneur. Well, no matter where you are in that journey, hopefully something that will be shared today will help to enlighten you and to position you to take those steps and feel confident about the direction that you are headed. I want to make sure that everyone that participates in this particular webinar training has the tools, the insights, and the actual future support that is needed to be successful as an entrepreneur. Because as an entrepreneur myself, I understand some of the troubles, the sticking points, the roadblocks, the challenges, the lonely times that go along with being an entrepreneur, and some of the frustrations associated with it as well. And so what I am aiming to do is to help you understand those roadblocks as well, and to really prepare yourself, because I don't know if there are too many people who have successfully said, okay, here's the blueprint on how to make the transition from 9 to 5 to full-time entrepreneur. I didn't see too many people laying out those steps when I was getting started on my entrepreneurial journey. And so hopefully this will be something that will allow you to feel confident and secure in taking those steps. And I'm going to give it to you real. I'm going to be 100% transparent and honest as we go through the content for our time together today, because it's important. It's important for you to realize that it's not some magical thing that takes place that moves you from 9 to 5 into the successful entrepreneur. It takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of research and understanding your target audience. It also takes some luck to get from where you are now to where you want to be. And so I'm going to share with you the 12 tips to help you escape your 9 to 5. And it is my goal, it is my hope, it is my desire that you embrace each of these 12 steps and to allow you to really start to reflect upon those things as you move forward. I promised you in the confirmation email that was sent out to you that I will at least give you an opportunity to work with me beyond this webinar training, because the information that I'm going to share is going to take some digesting. It's going to take some time to really sink in and settle in, and that I want to be available and offer you the opportunity to partner with me beyond today's webinar training, so that you can feel comfortable in having a partner that will walk with you along the journey as you make that transition from corporate to full-time entrepreneur. And so that is my hope. Those are my aspirations. Those are my desires. And so with that being the case, let's go ahead and jump into our training for today. Let me go ahead and find our presentation, and you should see it pop up on your screen in just a minute or so. And so it should be visible to each of you at this point, for those of you who are logged into the actual Google Hangout or the webinar training portal by way of my website. And so the 12 steps to escape your 9 to 5, I'm going to jump right into it so that we have plenty of time to answer your questions at the conclusion of today's training. I want to make sure that you also are taking notes along the way. If you could, please make sure that you have a notepad. Make sure that you are in a position to take copious notes, and that it is important for you to really document these points to compare to where you are today. I want you to always, as you participate in this training or any training that I do, I'm going to give you some tips, some insights, but I always want you to parallel the points that I give you along with your current state or where you are along the journey with regards to that particular training or that those instructions that I provide. And so today we're going to talk about the 12 steps to escape your 9 to 5. My name is Kenny Pugh. If you don't know that already, I'm a life and business strategist. I have a background in financial services primarily, but I also worked in some other industries by way of consulting. So I am considered to be a financial services expert in a couple of different areas, including mortgage banking as well as in the credit industries. I write for blackenterprise.com. I write in their small business section as well as in their money section. And I've also done some contributing to Headline News, which is based here in Atlanta. You might know it as HLN on your cable or satellite provider. And I had a chance to provide some tidbits, some articles, and some insights into a couple of different topics that they sought me out to provide insight on. My experience is that I've worked in a lot of different companies by way of consulting. Just a few include SunTrust Bank, Bank of America, LendingTree.com. I've also worked in the areas of manufacturing. I worked at a large steel company as a consultant. I've also worked in a couple of different industries, including telecommunications and retail, just to name a few. And so I have a wide variety of experience from a background perspective. But right now, my whole focus is just to empower aspiring and current entrepreneurs to be the best that they can be. And so my title is the Life and Business Strategist. I help to provide information that will help you in business and it will help you in life. And I believe that once you have a true understanding of the balance between life and business, you will be successful in both. I'm a certified life coach. I'm a best-selling author as well. And I provide insights, once again, that will empower you from a life as well as a business standpoint. And that will help you to be a better person, a better businessman or businesswoman, and as well as a better friend and family member as well. And so as an educator, I help people improve their businesses, finances, and relationships through workshops, one-on-one coaching, and webinars. And so that's my purpose, my focus. I try to help people improve their businesses. I try to help them improve their finances. I try to help people improve their relationships through workshops, one-on-one coaching, and webinar training such as the one that we're on now. And this is how I have a chance to really impact people's lives and just go straight forward and giving people the tools that they need to be successful. So more about me, as I mentioned before, I've been seen on Headline News, which is one of the cable channels that you might see out there, and that provides a lot of the news and up-to-date information that will help people in the areas of just being informed from a life and family perspective. And they brought me on to talk about being a single person, and this was prior to me getting married. And so I went on and I had a chance to speak with Natasha about this particular topic of being single, sexy, and celibate. And that, for those who are familiar with my story, that's a part of my background and one that I aim to be an advocate for and still an advocate today with regards to that particular area of interest. I've also I was brought back on to talk about Father Knows Best. And how much input and how much interest should a father take in the life of his daughter who might be seriously headed down the path of marriage. And so I had a chance to go in there and talk about a story that I wrote for blackenterprise.com, where there was a father who had a pretty involved and engaged involvement in his daughter's upcoming engagement and so on and so forth. He had these criteria that he had his future son-in-law have to answer and provide some thorough understanding. And they brought me on to talk about that specific story. I was on here as well to talk about how much money a person should spend on an engagement ring, what is realistic. And so they brought me on to talk about that as well. I've also been seen on Atlanta Live, and I had a chance to speak with Danielle and Hassani Pettifor, and we talked all things business, money, and relationships, and just had a great time there as well. And then last but not least, I wanted to share my family portrait. Like I mentioned, I got married in December of 2014 to my lovely wife, and there we are sitting around the kitchen table celebrating my son's 19th birthday, and he and his sister were recreating a childhood photo where they where had a chance to smash cake against my son's face, and it was just a powerful and fun time as they were recreating that particular photo that I think was when she was 4 and he was 4 and she was 7, and so it was just kind of a fun time. And so that's a glimpse into the life of me outside of providing trainings and speaking and writing and all that fun stuff. Let's get social. Feel free to Periscope this session if you like. I don't know how many of you are into the Periscope thing, but you can feel free to Periscope if you like. You will have a chance to connect with me by way of Facebook and Twitter and Instagram through the handles that I've provided there. And if you want to hashtag or tweet or post, please use the hashtag escape the 9 to 5, escape the 9 to 5 as your hashtag that you will share throughout the course of our time together today. So feel free to tweet and Facebook and Instagram along the way. And those are the handles where you can connect with me as we go forward. Here's my story. I grew up in a city called Trotwood, Ohio, which is a suburb of Dayton, Ohio. I graduated from high school with honors. I attended The Ohio State University and studied industrial and systems engineering. And I graduated and obtained a job in consulting. And so that's where all of my various backgrounds and experience really comes from, the fact that I got a job in consulting. And as a consultant, you are hired on by various companies to come in and execute certain projects. And so I've had a chance to do that with a number of financial institutions, a number of manufacturing institutions, telecom places, as well as some retail locations. And so that's what really kind of drives my background. I worked countless hours. I made pretty good money, but I realized that along that journey that there was something that was missing. And so when you think about something missing, lesson number one, and I'll give you a couple of these along the way, no matter what company you work for or how much money you make, if you are not living out your purpose, there will always be a void. And that was one of the hard realities that I had to figure out and that I was met with, is that no matter what company you work for, how much money you make, if you are not living out your purpose, there will always be a void. And this led to lesson number 2 as well. Lesson number 2 is just simply this: the 2 most important days in your life are the day that you are born and the day that you find out why. And that's a tribute to Mark Twain. And I wholeheartedly believe in this. If you have experienced birth, which each of you has by virtue of you being a part of this webinar training, that's the first thing that's an important, because you were given life, you have been brought into this place, and that you're supposed to carry out some kind of purpose. But until you figure out what that purpose is, you'll kind of walk around and live your life according to what other people tell you you should be doing, or just kind of aimlessly wandering around trying to figure out how to execute and live your life and what you should be doing in life. And so a lot of the people that I end up working with are people that are pretty successful, like yourself, and coming to find out that no matter how successful a person is, if you are not really living out your purpose, you end up reaching a point where you feel there's a void in your life. And then when you figure that point out, you need to figure out why you have really been created to live and walk out, and what it is that you're supposed to be doing with your life to impact the lives of others. And so your life is not necessarily meant for you to be the sole beneficiary, but life is meant to be an opportunity for you to leave your mark on this world, in this society, impact people's lives, and while also reaping the benefits of you really sharing your talents and your gifts with others. And so that's the one thing that a lot of people never really figure out until it's too late, is the reason why you are born. So working in corporate America, it really gave me possessions, but it didn't align with my purpose. And so that leads to lesson number 3. Don't procrastinate because you're only delaying your breakthrough. And so what does that mean? That simply means that if you realize that you have not yet tapped into your overall purpose of what you're supposed to be doing, don't procrastinate trying to figure that out, because you're only delaying your breakthrough. You're only delaying your success. You're only delaying your happiness. happiness. And that's not a way to live. You can't live on this earth and wake up every day doing something that you have not been created to do. You need to figure out and identify what it is, and hopefully that you've already identified that thing. If not, just stick on, stay tuned and stick along with me, and we'll try to really point you in the right direction so that you can start to explore that. And if there are those of you who are, or if you have not yet been able to identify a business that you want to start, we'll just stay tuned as well, because at the conclusion of the webinar core content training, I'm going to share with you a number of businesses that you can look into to starting. And so that's exciting as well. When you procrastinate, you suppress the smile and the joy that's awaiting on the inside of you. And so unfortunately, there's a lot of people that are walking around, but they're unhappy. They're not smiling. They're not exuding the joy that's really awaiting on the inside of you. And so that might be you. That might be you. You might be walking around, you get up and you go to a place every day that you don't enjoy the people, you don't enjoy the work, but you're doing it because the money's good and you've gotten accustomed to operating in that form or fashion without really questioning and challenging, is there something else that I'm supposed to be doing? And so it really keeps you inside of the box that has been placed around you. We've been taught that you're supposed to go to school, you're supposed to go to college, you're supposed to get a job, you're supposed to work that job until the age of 60, 62, 64, 65, and then retire with your gold watch and a going away party. And that's really the box that a lot of people are placed in. And you really don't really have a chance to live out and explore the life that you have been created to live and experience. And so that's a powerful thing. I want you to even reflect right now and think to yourself, am I really doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Am I excited about the place that I walk into each and every day when I go to work? Am I really working with the types of people that I know that I should be interacting with? And so if you answered no to one or more of those questions, then there's some opportunity for you to really recreate and reposition and retool yourself so that you can explore that happiness that really dwells and resides within you. And so when you procrastinate as well, I want you to realize that you failed to launch the legacy building dream opportunity that's inside you. And so you can't really transfer your employment at another company to someone else. But when you start and create your own business or businesses, that is something that you can transfer and hand down from generation to generation. Just imagine being able to hire your kids or your family members. Just imagine being able to leave them a business that becomes an asset to their life. Just imagine being able to have them be able to go to college and fund some of the dreams that you have for them based off of your willingness and your you being poised enough to pursue leaving your 9-to-5 and starting your own business. And so that's a very powerful thing. Think about being able to leave something to your children, your children's children, and your children's children's children that you created and you explored based off of some information that you have now been enlightened to. And that's a very powerful thing. And so I want you to imagine the possibilities. I want you to imagine being able to live out your greater purpose. I want you to imagine never experiencing another Monday morning again. And so what is the Monday morning effect? The Monday morning effect is when you're driving home on a Friday and you're already thinking about the stuff that you need to do when you get back into the office on Monday. Or it could be a Thursday, you know that you have one more day to get stuff done. And if you don't get it done, that you're either gonna have to work late, you're either gonna have to work on the weekends, or else you're gonna have to wait until Monday and you're gonna be dreading Monday morning again. So imagine never experiencing another Monday morning. Imagine creating revenue doing something that you love. And so if you like to teach, imagine being able to create revenue doing that on your own terms. If you like to, repair and fix cars, imagine being able to do that on your own without having someone looking over your shoulder. If you like to coach people, imagine being able to do that and earn money by doing something that you truly love. If you love to write, imagine being able to write a book or writing a curriculum and being able to do something that you truly love and getting compensated for doing so. Imagine being able to create the exit, the escape, the transition from your 9-to-5. And so this does not necessarily have to be an immediate transition, but just imagine you already taking the steps beginning today to say, I'm ready to make the move from my 9 to 5. I'm ready to invest in myself. I'm ready to invest in my dreams. I'm ready to invest in my aspirations so that I can create the exit plan from my 9 to 5. And imagine being able to spend more time with your family. One of the reasons why people they can create their own schedules. They can create the vacation time that they want. They don't have to go ask for somebody to approve their vacation schedule, especially around now when the holidays are just around the corner. Just imagine being able to just simply take time off to spend with your family, or to travel, or to do the things that are important to you without actually having to go ask permission for those things. That would be a very powerful thing, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be exciting to be able to just pack up and go, and to be able to do what you want? It's a very empowering experience. I get a chance to really take off and do what I want whenever I want to do it, and it's just fun and it's fulfilling. And I want other people to have that experience as well. And so the question is, what are you waiting on? What are you waiting on? If not now, then when? If you're even going to take the baby steps necessary to start progressing towards your goal, the question I have for you is, what are you waiting on? If not now, then when? Because there's no better time than right now. And procrastinating has really gotten you everything that you've gotten so far. And so you might have gone through a couple of annual cycles of, at the beginning of the year, I'm going to take the steps to start my own business. I'm going to start this particular foundation. I'm going to write this book. But several cycles have gone by and you have not done that yet. So procrastinating has really gotten you everything that you've gotten this far, which is not being able to fulfill the things that you really have on the inside of you that you want to accomplish. And so what are you waiting on again? If not now, then when? Because there's no better time than right now. And so the question to you again is, are you ready to take action? And if you're ready to take action, just simply write to yourself on the notepad that you are taking notes on, I am ready to take action. I am ready to take action. It's important for you to do that because it now reinforces the fact that you are ready to move forward in taking actions in your life. And so hopefully that is you. If that is you, I want you to stay tuned because we have some more information that's going to help you get there. So the 12 steps to escape your 9 to 5. I'm going to cover as much as I can during our time together. And I promise, I'm going to show you how you can take it further beyond this webinar training. And so the 12 steps to escape your 9 to 5 and get started with your business are some of the first things that we'll cover. I'm going to cover how I can assist you with the process of making that escape from your 9 to 5. And then I'm going to share with you 25 business ideas that you can start today with little or no money to really get it up and running. And so hopefully that is enough to entice and keep your appetite engaged as we move forward. And enough for now. Let's go ahead and get started. So the 12 steps to escape your 9 to 5. I hope you're taking notes. I hope you're keeping score because this is number one. Number one is that you need to know your why. In order to escape your 9 to 5, you really have to establish your why as the number one priority. You must know your why because it gives you a goal to work towards as you are building and planning and researching and going through the process and really encountering and trying to learn as much as you possibly can. And so when you know your why, you are willing to be inconvenienced. You are willing to go out of the way in order to obtain information that might be helpful and contribute towards your success. When you know your why, it gives you a goal that you can work towards. It also keeps you focused during the process. And so as I'm researching and trying to learn about new methods and new techniques to help coach my clients, there might be a time where my mind wants to start to sway off. But when I think about being able to focus and help people like yourself and being able to help you to accomplish the dreams that lie within you, being able to work on my own accord and to create my own schedule, that why positioned me to really get back focused and being the best that I can be. And I want you to be the best that you can be. So you need to know your why. You need to know if it's so that you can move into a house, so that you can pay off your debt, so that you can pay for your kids' college tuition, so that you can buy your parents a a gift or whatever that thing might be, so that you can take a family vacation. Whatever it is, you need to know your why, because your why will help keep you focused during the process. So that's number one. Number two, you need to research the entrepreneur lifestyle. I want you to realize that everything that glitters is not gold. The entrepreneur lifestyle is a fun one, but it is also a frustrating one, and it is also a challenging lifestyle, because it's not necessarily traditional in the way that it's set up. There's no boss, so you need to learn how to manage your time. You need to govern your time. You need to be able to go out and pursue the things that you need to pursue without someone looking over your shoulder. There's no boss. You have to be self-motivated and driven. So as an entrepreneur, you have the ability to make as much money as you want, but you have to be self-motivated. You have to be driven. You have to be smart. You have to be willing to go and investigate what the market is offering, the opportunities that exist out there, and how you can really tap into it to leave your mark. So be self-motivated, be driven. Just because you come in and you sign onto your computer and you play on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram all day, and you clock out, and you know that at the end of the week or every 2 weeks that your paycheck is going to be there. Entrepreneurship doesn't work that way. You have to be self-motivated. You have to be driven. You have to be a go-getter. You have to constantly be seeking out how to grow and expand and impact and nurture your customers and impact the lives of the people who you ultimately want to touch. And so that's what's a part of the entrepreneur lifestyle. And everyone should sit down with an entrepreneur to learn what that looks like. Number three, brainstorm profitable business ideas. And so each of you have a gift. Each of you has a talent that you can really, teach somebody. But the question is it a profitable business idea? And so you might have a great talent, a great skill that you're able to really perform, but you got to figure out, is it a profitable business idea? And in most cases, there's some profitability to each of the things that you do well. You just got to understand how to package it and structure it so that you can reap the benefits of what that really truly looks like. So brainstorm profitable business ideas. What can you do? What are you good at? What do people come to you for? List out all of those things, and then go back through the process to say, okay, out of these things, which one of these can actually generate money? And so when you have a chance to do that, it gives you a basis to move forward. It gives you a chance to really take a look at, okay, this is where the opportunity truly lies. And if you need assistance, at the end, I'm going to share with you how we can work together to explore that particular point, so that you can identify what is a profitable business idea for you and what that looks like. So brainstorm profitable business ideas. What are you good at? What are you good at that might make money? And so those are some powerful things. Step number 4, understand your finances. You have to understand your personal finances. You have to understand your business finances. And so this is the 4th step to escape your 9 to 5. You must understand your personal financial picture, how much debt you owe, how long it's going to take for you to get out, what your current cash flow is, what is your current expense status as far as your monthly expenses, rent, utilities, and any other things that are on your plate. And then you have to understand the business finance of the business finances that are associated with your business idea. How much is it going to cost you to get up and running? How much is it going to cost for you to sustain that business? What is the impact of the long-term business idea that you have in place? Do you need to pay monthly web maintenance or web support for your website? Or how much is it going to cost you to have an email marketing software where it allows you to stay in touch with your potential customers, etc.? And so you need to understand your personal finances and your business finances. And so that's the 4th step to escaping your 9 to 5. You need to understand those things. Number 5, create a business plan. A business plan allows you to remain focused. It allows you to really capture your business in one location so that you know what it is that you need to focus on. What is it going to take to get up and running? What your mission is, what your vision is, how you can stay focused on your end goal without getting distracted by some of the other opportunities that might exist out there. And a business plan is a great place to capture your business in one location, including the cost, potential sales, and things of that nature so that you can be successful as you go forward. It also helps you to remain organized. And so that's another important piece of this puzzle as well, is that you want to remain organized. Creating a business plan allows you to remain focused. It allows you to remain organized. You know where all of the pieces of your business are and that you can capture it in one place. And so that is one of the pieces, or one of the steps to escape your 9-to-5, is to begin the process of drafting a business plan. A business plan is helpful for the internal use, so that you can use within your for yourself and any contractors or employees that you bring on board to your business. It's also helpful when you're preparing to go out and pitch an idea for funding from investors, or to present to a small business loan specialist to see if they can give you a small business loan. And so a business plan is a key cog of that. But I want you to also understand that a business plan will never be perfected. It's always going to be a work in progress, and that you should not hesitate moving forward with launching your business once you have started the process of drafting your business plan. Don't use the excuse of not having a finalized, perfect business plan to keep you from actually taking the steps to move forward with launching your business. Number 6, understand the responsibilities of entrepreneurship. When you become an entrepreneur, you don't have a secretary up front necessarily. You don't have tech support. You don't have a marketing department. You don't have a sales department. You become the sole provider of those services unless you outsource them to someone else. And so you become tech support. You become administration, or the administrative function of your business. You become sales, and you become marketing. And so you need to really, really understand what each of those entails as you make the transition from your 9-to-5 into the land of entrepreneurship. A lot of people don't realize that when you say, okay, I'm leaving my job and I want to start my own business. Now, if something happens to your computer, what do? You have to figure it out. You have to go and get that taken care of. You don't just take it to a tech support group to have them fixed. So that's a part of the process, and part of the responsibilities that come along with entrepreneurship. Administration, so crafting emails, creating email templates, creating document templates, a lot of those things you'll have to do. And so that's part of being an entrepreneur. Becoming a salesperson, that should be your primary focus. As an entrepreneur, you know your business inside and out. You know the things that are going to touch the hearts and the lives of the people that you're trying to impact. And so you become the primary salesperson. People will look to you and the passion that you bring to the table with regards to your t-shirt business, or your car business, or your real estate business, or your marketing business. And so you become the salesperson for the business that you represent, that you created, and people will feed off of that. So you need to become the salesperson, because if you don't believe in your business, who else will? And so it's important for you to realize that you will take on the sales component as well as the marketing component. Who's going to create the marketing collateral that gets posted on social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Google Plus, Pinterest, all of those different places. Who's going to create that marketing? Either you create it, or you have to find a way to outsource that function, which will allow you to be successful in that regard as well. And my program that I've created will provide you with some outsourcing companies that can help you, that will not break the bank along the way. So that's one of the things that I'll share with you if you decide to move forward in working with me. Step number 7, know your strengths, know your weaknesses. And so that's part of escaping your 9-to-5 and going into entrepreneurship. You need to know what you're good at. And so just like I just gave you the roles and responsibilities of an entrepreneur, if you know you can't create marketing materials, well, let's go ahead and be proactive in figuring out how that portion of your business is going to be fulfilled. And so that's, part of understanding your strengths and weaknesses. What are you able to learn so that you don't have to spend money for expenses associated with the things that are going to be required by your business? And so you sit down and write out your strengths. I'm a great salesperson. I'm a great communicator. I like to do presentations. I'm a great administrative person. I'm very organized. Write down your strengths, and then also write down your weaknesses that you might need to address prior to escaping your 9-to-5. So know the stuff that you're good at, and then know the stuff you are not so good at. And that helps to really position you to say, okay, as I'm transitioning, or looking to escape my 9 to 5, here's some of the areas that I know I need to focus on. Here's some areas that I need to look at and potentially outsourcing, etc. So know your strengths, know your weaknesses, know the stuff you're good at, know the stuff you're not so good at. Step number 8, know your market and industry well. You need to know your market and your industry well. Business idea with no market knowledge equals back to the workforce. And so if you have a business idea without the knowledge of your market, you'll be back in the workforce very soon and very quickly. Why? Because you need to be very, very aware of what's going on in your market, in your industry, and how you're going to position your business to be a part of that market, to be a part of that industry. Business ideas with no market knowledge equals back to the workforce, and that's not what you want. So do the work now while you are working a 9 to 5 to understand your market inside and out, whether it's real estate, whether it's marketing, whether it's technology, whether it's education, whether it's the writing books, whether it's info products, whether it's online marketing, whatever that thing is, understand it inside and out so that you can really position yourself to take advantage of it when you're ready to take that step. And so number 9, know who you can count on. The entrepreneurial journey is a long and winding one. Every entrepreneur needs a mentor or a coach. And so going through this process of escaping your 9 to 5, everybody's going to be in your corner while you're working that job. But when you take the step to become an entrepreneur, the people that you once were able to count on will no longer be able to really relate to your new journey. And so it's going to be hard for you to count on them for their support as you move forward. So you need to understand who's going to be in your circle, the types of people that you should seek out, and then really, really saying, okay, I know that the way I am today with my 9 to 5 is going to change when I become an entrepreneur. People are not going to understand that you have to work a little bit longer, or that you have a project or a client that you're getting ready to present to. People are not going to understand that you might not be able to do this particular outing on this specific day, or to take this particular day off because you might be working on something that could be very pivotal for your business. And so you need to have yourself surrounded by other entrepreneurs. You need to seek out a mentor or a coach who understands that process, and then be willing to say, okay, this is going to become my new normal. Because once you make that move into entrepreneurship, there's going to be a lot of people that are not going to be able to relate to you, and you're no longer going to have certain things in common, which is going to be quite an adjustment for some of you. Let's go ahead and look at step number 10. You need to begin to brand you and your business. So start letting people know what your business is once you have it at a point where you can disclose it. So it builds recognition prior to living your 9 to 5. And so there are plenty of people who are moonlighting as entrepreneurs right now. And you should position yourself amongst those people where you work your 9 to 5, and then in the evenings you go and begin to work on your personal business, or during the lunchtime, or you're getting up early and beginning to work on the business idea that you have, so that you can begin to brand you as the person that's the visionary behind your business. And then people will start to relate to you for what you do from a personal venture standpoint. So you might work in a school now, but people are not going to seek you out as a school teacher per se. But if you position yourself to say, now I'm the online educator, and now you start to put out helpful tips and curriculums and tutorials that help people who are struggling to learn, who want to learn about a specific topic, and you can become the go-to person for that. And so you want to become the branded person as the online educator, or however you want to position that, so that you can begin to brand you and people begin to know you for what your new business is, not what your current 9 to 5 is. So it's important for you to brand you. Number 11, identify your plan B. And so this is where I'll differ from a lot of different people. I'm going to encourage you to identify a plan B before you even transition out of your 9 to 5. You may have to hustle if things don't go the way that you desire. So what happens if plan A takes a little bit longer to get up and running than you anticipated? What happens if plan A does not work at all because you misunderstood your market and you did not plan accordingly? What if some kind of regulations were changed and the idea that you have is no longer relevant? So what happens when plan A is impacted? Well, you need to have some kind of idea of what a plan B would look like. And so for a number of you, you might have your plan B be a freelance contractor. That probably makes the most sense for a lot of you. If you have a specific skill set, in the event that something does not go right with plan A, that you understand that you can always become a freelancer. And so if you have a marketing background, you can always become a freelance marketer. You can always become a freelance educator. You can always become a freelance web designer if you have those skills. Just in case plan A does not go according to plan, you can always lean on plan B to provide you income as you continue to refine plan A so that it eventually works. Hopefully plan A works from the start. But I always tell people what is a good way for you to make money today, right now, and if something doesn't work in your other areas of interest. And so you just have to keep that on the back burner just in case you're faced with that decision at some point in the future. You can say, okay, I'm going to contact this agency, or I'm going to post my profile on Elance or Upwork and seek out some freelance opportunities. And so that's there's nothing wrong with that. Just keep it in the back pocket so that you know that in the event something happens with plan A, there is a plan B. And some people will argue and say you shouldn't have a plan B because it will keep you from working tirelessly on plan A. And I disagree. And I'm an example of that. When I left my corporate 9-to-5 making six figures, there was a specific area that I thought I was going to be able to immediately connect. And that did not happen. I had a few opportunities in that particular area, but then I had to adjust on the fly. And I really had to take a step and look at what people were willing to invest in and pay for and compensate me to assist them with. And so that became my new plan A, was to focus on helping people in the areas that they needed help, not the area that I wanted to give them help in. And there's a difference there. And that's one of the things that I cover as part of the program with my students, is that when you are coming up with a business idea, don't give people what you want them to have. You got to give them what they want. You have to give them something that they want. And then if there's something in addition that you can offer down the road that you feel that they need, then you can do so. But if you don't give people what they want, a solution to their problem in a way that they can receive it, then you'll never, ever, ever get your business off the ground. And so it's important for you to realize that. And then number 12, leave your job gracefully. Never burn bridges. Never burn bridges. And that's an important thing to keep in mind. Leaving your job gracefully is part of the process. Don't go in and try to get all belligerent and to leave and to try to taunt because you're now leaving and pursuing your own thing. Just be very humble with it. Provide your letter of resignation. Leave gracefully. Thank the people for the opportunity. And remember, you never know where people are going to end up. It's a small world, and that you might cross paths with these people again. So never burn bridges. All of these 12 steps to escape your 9-to-5 are addressed in my 9-to-5 transition blueprint program. And so as I mentioned throughout the course, I have a set of students that I've been working with on an ongoing basis to help them transition from their 9-to-5s into their particular areas of interest or focus and starting their businesses. And so all of these 12 steps that we talked through, that I just spoke through, they are addressed in my 9-to-5 transition blueprint program. And so each week we cover 3 topics that will be very relevant to you to help you get closer to your dream of escaping your 9 or escaping from your 9-to-5. And so it's important for you to realize that 12 steps are very, very reasonable and feasible. It could take, very few weeks for you to get there. It might take you 6 months. It might take you a year to get through those 12 steps to position yourself to escape your 9-to-5. But I have a program. I have a proven model. I have a blueprint program that can help you get there and take those steps and provide you with the support along the way. So the choice is really yours. You can continue procrastinating or you can take action. I'm actually hosting this particular next iteration of this particular program, which is 4 weeks, to give you the tools necessary to escape your 9 to 5. And so I want you to seriously consider investing in yourself and investing in your dreams and in your future so that you can escape the 9 to 5, that you will be positioned after going through these 12 steps to feel confident and comfortable that you're able to move forward. And so the group format that I offer, it makes it very economically reasonable, but it also positions you so that you can learn from one another. So there'll be other people that go through this process with you that you are able to learn along the way, some of the best practices that they're learning as they're going through this process, some tips, some insights, some tools that they're able to find along the way, and you'll be able to offer up your insight as well. You have something very valuable to contribute to this group. You have something that you can invest into the lives of others by just sharing information that you're able to come across. And I do this by way of weekly teleconferences. So no matter where you are, no matter where you're located, what city, what state, what country, there are weekly teleconferences and webinars such as this that go along with the program, and you're given homework assignments to keep you accountable. And that's where a lot of you will end up falling off the wagon, is that you think you have an idea of what it takes to move forward, but you don't have the accountability to move from point 1 to point 2 to point 3, all the way until you get to step number 12, which is simply, now I feel confident about moving forward and being able to deliver your resignation letter with confidence. And so we have these weekly teleconferences or webinars along with homework assignments that will take you through each of the 12 steps that I've just mentioned, that we just walked through, and you'll be able to check those off your list. You'll be able to have you understand your why. You'll be able to go through each of those things and feel confident that you've addressed those things, and know that those are the key cogs, the key pieces for you to begin the escape from your 9 to 5. I have a limited number of spaces because I like to keep the group small, so I can learn your business inside and out with you, so that I can provide you with real time, real relevant feedback on your business. And so there are limited slots available for this program, and I want you to be a part of it. I want you to grow. I want you to attack this process. We are approaching the last quarter. This is the last quarter of the year. And so you're really preparing to make some resolutions, some goals, some dreams, documenting some things that will take you into the next year. And it's important. It's important for you to really put this on your list if that's something that you're serious about, and go through the process now, so that when the new year rolls around, you've already gone through this program, you know your steps, and all you're doing is, at that point, is going through the process of executing. And so you might be complete by then. You might be handing in your resignation letter that first month or that first quarter of the upcoming year. But whatever the case may be, you will have gone through the process of learning the blueprint and going through each one of the steps that will allow you to feel more confident, more comfortable in order to pursue your dream. And so the 9 to 5 transition blueprint program, at the end of the program, you will have the ability to know your why. You will understand the entrepreneur lifestyle. You will understand your strengths and your weaknesses. You will gain the confidence required for you to take the big step. You will start drafting your business plan as part of that process. You will have initiated a draft of the financial resources required to get started. And those are very powerful. You will receive this information, this particular program that will allow you to realize your dreams for only one payment of $479, which is a steal, which is an absolute steal. The program will change your life. It will allow you to go through this process of going through these 12 steps, exploring it in the group format, being able to work along with me, and will position you to experience some additional freedom. You can do it because you're currently working a 9 to 5, and you can use your 9 to 5 to help to fuel and finance and really provide the financial support as you transition and escape from your 9 to 5. So that is a very reasonable investment for you to make in your future, and being able to make that transition from your 9 to 5. And so let me go through the weeks. There are a few modules that are associated with this, and I think it's important for you to understand what the modules are so that you realize what you're going to get for the investment that you're making. It's important. It's important for you to know these particular areas inside and out, and I want to make sure that I give you the best bang for your buck as you move forward. So week number 1, we're going to talk about knowing your why. Your homework assignment will consist of you exploring your why it's important, and the thing that's going to keep you focused. You're also going to get some insight on the entrepreneur lifestyle. I'm going to conduct a call where I share with you some tips from an entrepreneur, some of the things that you can expect when you make that transition, and it's just going to be a very, very important thing. It's going to be very important for you to know the entrepreneur lifestyle so that you can prepare for it, or at least have some insight about it. Week number 1, brainstorming your profitable business ideas. And that's simply looking at what you do well and how we can make that a profitable business idea for you. So that's the reason why I keep the class size small, is so that I can work with you individually to look and explore your profitable business ideas so that you can make the right decision and feel confident about moving forward with that. So it is powerful. It is important for you to keep that in mind and know that it is a great, 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 great benefit for you. And that's just week number 1. Week number 2, managing your finances. Manage your finances. It also includes creating your business plan or starting the draft of your business plan. And week number 2 will give you an understanding of roles and responsibilities. And so some of the things that you'll have to undertake, some ways that you can outsource them. I'll give you leads to my inside secret tools and resources that I use for marketing, for administrative stuff, for technology outsourcing and things of that nature. And so that's week number 2. And so at this point, you have 6 topics that will have been dealt with that are very key to the success of your business. And we cover those in the first 2 weeks of the 9-to-5 Transition Blueprint program. Let's look at week number 3. You need to know what you do well. You need to know your industry. You need to know who you can count on. We cover that in week 3. We'll look at what you do well. We look at what you don't do well. We look at what your industry is and who are the big players in that industry. And then you come up with your proposed accountability circle, mentorship circle, the people who you can count on so that you can start building those relationships now and feel confident as you move forward. And then week number 4, brand you. How are you going to start getting the word out about your business as you are currently working your 9-to-5? How are you going to identify your plan B? What is it that you can do in the event that something happens with plan A? And then the last and most favorite part of this is that we're going to craft our resignation letters. We're going to create, you'll have a chance to craft your resignation letter in advance. And it's going to be so fulfilling that is the last part of what we do, is for you to write out, draft your resignation letter and just have it as a draft for when the day comes that you can make and hand that in. And so we're going to create gracefully drafted resignation letters that you can keep on ice until the day that you can actually print it out or email it to whoever it needs to go to and make that transition, the escape from your 9-to-5. That's the fun part. That's the part where you start to really see, all right, this is serious. This is important. This is where it really gets exciting, because now I know I see the end in sight and I can move forward. So within those 4 weeks, you have covered some very significant and important information for accomplishing and escaping from your 9-to-5. And so that is so powerful. And I want you to keep that in mind. I want you to realize that, hey, this is real. This is something that you can do. This is something that it can really be a reality for you. This is something that is not something that's hypothetical, but man, this is something that I can really apply to my life. And so I want you to think about that. I want you to understand that is the realistic program for what you have going on. And that's something that you can invest in. And so I'm also, because I want it to be a no-brainer in your life, give you a couple of bonuses. So bonus number one is that you'll be enrolled into my business networking group, where I conduct weekly calls to assist with your business. And so, as I mentioned, I don't want you to go through my program and then be left out there by yourself without any ongoing support. Many of you have invested in courses where you've gotten the information, and then after you finish the course, you kind of got off track. You didn't have anything else to lean on at that point. So you had all that valuable information, but you're not applying it. You don't have anybody you can ask questions to. And I'm just going to automatically enroll you in my business networking group, where I conduct weekly calls to assist with your business. And those usually take place once a week. And I come on the line. I might share some information about something that's helpful, or a new trend or something like that. But then again, I might come on and say, hey, it's time to go through some questions that you're currently experiencing within your business. And so that's a bonus. That's something that you don't even have to deal with when you come through this program. You'll automatically be enrolled into that, and then it's up to you to be faithful and be committed to coming to those weekly sessions, calling into those sessions if there are indeed some things that you're encountering with your business. And then bonus number two, I'm going to give you a one-on-one consult with me, so that we can take a look at your business at the conclusion of the program and really say, okay, here's how long it'll probably take you to get through this process. This is how much money you probably need to have saved up to feel confident about your financial picture as you move forward. And so the consult by itself is very valuable. And I get paid a lot of money from people just to sit down for 1 hour and to go through business strategies. And so that is a bonus that is a part of the 9-to-5 Transition Blueprint program, and something that you should definitely keep in mind. I think it's something that is worthwhile, and you should definitely consider that as an added benefit and bonus, because you get to pick my brain for an hour in addition to being enrolled into my business networking group. So keep that in mind. Those are two bonuses that are not going to be available to those who don't enroll in this program by way of the webinar training. I want you to register today for an additional $130 off of the program price of $479. And so this is available to those who register for the program today. And so what does that mean? That means you can enroll for $349, and you get all of the content that I just shared with you, all 4 weeks, all 12 topics, being enrolled in my business networking group, as well as being able to have that one-on-one consult with me. And so go ahead and take advantage of that particular offer. For those of you who have logged in by way of the website, feel free to click the Buy Now button that's located underneath the chat room. It gives you the list of the topics, the modules that will be covered, and then you can click that button in order to take advantage of the $349 special rate for those of you who are participating or have participated in this webinar training. So go ahead and press that button, Buy Now. For those of you who are joining by way of YouTube or Google Hangout, feel free to email your interest to info@kennypugh.com, or else you can simply text 404-333-1616, 404-333-1616, and just say, I want in. Type that into your text message. I want in, and you can text that to 404-333-1616, and you'll get the special rate of $349. Please note, the next program begins the week of October the 12th. And once again, this will include weekly conference calls and homework. Here's an added bonus in addition to the bonuses that have been provided. If you refer a friend, you get a $100 referral fee. And so if you want to take advantage of that as well, it'll help you to reduce your personal investment in this particular training. And you can contact my office directly for details if you want to enroll yourself, as well as bring along a friend. You might want to share that cost, whatever that looks like for you. But that's an added bonus. You get a $100 referral fee for sharing this with other people, and they end up enrolling in the 9-to-5 Transition Blueprint program. And so I'm pretty excited. Hopefully that's something that can help you out and give you some reassurance that all is well. And I want you to be careful. I want you to be confident in knowing that that's the case. and just really embracing the opportunity, because it's important for you to take advantage of opportunities when they come up. And so I trust that this will be something that you jump on sooner rather than later. And it's just powerful. I look forward to working with you beginning the week of October the 12th. And go ahead and click that buy now button underneath the chat room that's located out there at the same time. You can contact my office at 404-496-4092. The information there is there on the screen, and you can get engaged. And if you have any specific questions about the program, feel free to ask those as well. But once again, look forward to having you as a part of that. And so I mentioned at the beginning that there are that I was going to give you 25 businesses that you can start with little or no money. I want to go ahead and jump into those. But I'm going to open up the floor before doing so to see if I can answer any questions that you might have. And so if you are logged in through the portal, I want you to type in the chat room if there's a specific question that you have. If you don't have any questions, then that's fine too. I'm actually going to check the Q&A section to see if there are any specific questions that might be out here as well, for those of you who have tuned in through Google Plus or YouTube. And so we'll take a look at that to see if there are any insights that I can provide with you for you as well. So let me check the Q&A out here. If there are any questions that you have, go ahead and type those in the chat room for those of you who are logged in, and we'll see if there are any questions that are out there. So feel free to go ahead and type those in the chat room or in the Q&A box for those of you who are joining by way of the Hangout, and I'll see if I can address those for you. Outside of that, I am going to go ahead and start with the 25 businesses that you can start, and I'll keep an eye on the queue to see if there are any questions that are coming in. So let's go ahead and tackle that and see what we can get accomplished. So here's a list of 25 businesses that you can start. 1 is real estate. 2 is automobile detailing. 3 is personalized gifts. And so if you have a knack for creating personalized gifts, you can get paid and create a business out of that. Number 4, senior citizen services. Number 5, import export business. So importing things at a low rate and then reselling those or exporting those some things out to other countries and making profits off of those. Arts and crafts is number 6. Number 7, cleaning services, because people always need things clean. Pet sitting is number 8. Web development is number 9, and that's for those of you who have a technology gene in your body and you like to learn about those types of things and can help and provide some assistance to people with that. Number 10, a teacher. You can become a teacher outside of the classroom doing something similar to what I'm doing now. If there's a special area of expertise that you have, you can conduct training sessions like this one and get compensated for it. A moving service is number 11. Self-defense classes, number 12. 13 is interior decorator. 14 is running an errand service for people with disabilities or senior citizens or busy professionals. Number 15, eBay or Craigslist seller, where you buy stuff and you sell it out there. Number 16 is my favorite. It's an information marketer, where you just simply have an expertise in a specific area. You write an ebook, you create an online course, you write a book itself, and then you sell that information to other people who are seeking it out. Number 17, become a personal trainer. Number 18, you can go into consulting. Number 19, you can become a professional organizer. Number 20, you can become a babysitter or run a babysitting service. You don't necessarily have to be the one doing the babysitting. You might just run the service where you have a trusted list of people who can fulfill this particular service for people. And when you get calls, you just assign you assign out babysitters to that specific location or that particular family or whatever the case may be. But you have to think outside of the box. If you have an idea, does not necessarily mean that you need to do all of the grunt work associated with it. Number 21, junk removal. Number 22, videographer service. Number 23, Social media management. A lot of people are still frustrated with managing social media, and so people have created businesses to help people out in that particular area of their business. And so you can do that as well. Number 24, you can run a candle business. Number 25, you can become a personal assistant to a busy executive, a lawyer, a doctor, or some kind of corporate executive. You can become a personal assistant or run a personal assistant business that assigns people to those types of individuals. And so once again, thinking outside of the box, that is a great business model to consider as well. Bonus 5, because I want to give you more than I actually promised. Number 26, do some home delivery. I noticed that Uber has just come out with a service called Uber Eats, where they will deliver food to different places, and that's a powerful thing, because convenience is a place where a lot of people will spend money. And if you have a way to make people's lives more convenient, then that might be a business model for you to pursue. Number 27, landscaping. Number 28, mail ordering. For those people who have not yet caught on to the internet, there are still people doing significant business through the mail order business. Number 29, network marketing. And there are people who are still making a lot of money through network marketing. And so keep that in mind. If that is something that is of interest to you, I just tell you to research the products, research the services, so that you know what you're getting yourself into when it comes to that particular area. So network marketing is an option for you. And then number 30, sales and marketing consultant. So if you have ability to sell, and that's a gift that you have, or to market things, then you might be able to consult with people and to help them become more effective in those specific areas. And so those are 25 plus 5 businesses that you can start. And if any of those capture your attention, feel free to notify me of that when you are registering to sign up for the 9-to-5 Blueprint Transition Blueprint program, and I can have some information shared with you about those specific areas of interest to help you begin the process of gathering information to build a business around these specific ideas. So let me know that as well as you are registering for the program, and I look forward to working with you in the upcoming weeks. And so I'll go back and see if there are any questions. I don't see anything via the chat room online, and so let's just double check, see if there are any questions out there. Let's see, any questions? I don't see any questions there. As part of the whole registration process, there was an inquiry or a proposal made to you to share your story, and that I would help you to come up with the steps, or at least begin to process that. And a number of you responded to that, and I'm forever grateful for it. But there is one person in particular whose story resonated with me, and so I want to make sure that I address that as we close out our time of training today. And so there's a young lady who has a specific program, a physical fitness program for people who have disabilities. And I thought it was powerful that there is a specific physical education kind of program for people who have disabilities, and not necessarily the physical ones, but this particular curriculum is helping those people expand and grow and experience some enhanced use of their abilities. And I was just kind of almost moved to tears to see some of the evidence behind this and how it works. And so I don't want to dive too deep into the details, but I just think and I know she's on here, if you continue to pursue that, that's going to be a very powerful thing. So what do you need to do? You need to know your why. Your why is that you want to help the less fortunate. You want to help people who are experiencing or living a different lifestyle than you and I get a chance to live because of the disabilities that they're experiencing. So that's the first part of it. The whole idea of, is it a business idea that can generate money? Absolutely. There are different ways that I could see this working out. I can see you creating a curriculum that can be shared online for other caregivers and and people who might have clients or family members who fall into this particular area. I can see you sharing this with medical professionals across the country and maybe even across the world. I can see you providing an ebook that you can sell at a very minimal price, but knowing that there are a number of people who encountered this particular challenge. So that's another area where you can generate money. And so that just gives you a few areas that you can document. And I hope you're taking notes of those that you can actually use to really springboard your business and get it out there. And I can also see you doing some kind of online tutorials where you have people, somebody film you actually executing or demonstrating or facilitating these different sessions with these clients and recording those so that those can be sold as an online program as well. And so there's so many different options for that. It's powerful, from a cost startup cost perspective. There are some costs associated with websites, and if you decide to use the video aspect of it, there might be some additional costs with that. But other than that, if you have that information in your head, I can see you just really documenting that and putting it in an ebook or a physical book and leveraging that as a content to touch so many different people's lives. And you don't realize the potential of this particular business. And so I am really excited to see you participate in making this particular idea come to life. I need you to really make this happen because there's going to be so many people's lives touched as a result of this particular program or this insight that you have. And so that, just kind of gives you a summary. I have some other strategic ideas that I can share with you offline, but I just want people who are tuned into this particular training to see the types of ideas that exist that really take you from being an employee to being an entrepreneur and bringing to life different dreams. So never underestimate it. Be diligent. Be willing to chase after what it is that you want. And I just want you to go and pursue. I want to be a part of the process. If that is something that you feel like that you could benefit from, which after going through those 4 weeks of the 12 topics that'll be covered, I wholeheartedly know that you see the value in it. And so go ahead and register for the particular program. It gets started once again on October the 12th. And we're going to go hard. We're going to go hard. And at the end of those 4 weeks, come mid-November, you will be in a position to say, as you approach the end of the year, you feel confident and secure and know that you have the information put down in place that come the new year, you'll be ready to attack it with a vengeance and make that transition or the escape a reality for you. And so that's all I have at this point. I don't see any questions out there at this point. And so without holding you up and keeping you beyond the time that is allotted, I want to give you some of your time back so that we can, kind of focus on bringing this dream to life that you have. And I want to be a part of it. I want to assist you with this process and go ahead and take advantage of that $349 offer that's down there. Click the buy now button. And I promise you, you will appreciate the fact that you've invested in yourself and that you've taken a step. And if you are a go-getter, you will go out and identify a friend who can benefit and partner with you as you go through this program, and you'll get the $100 referral bonus, which will defray your investment in this program even more. So keep that in mind. Let's make it happen. And I look forward to working with you as you go forward and look forward to being a part of the dream building process for you. If there's anything else I can do for you, please let me know. But other than that, thank you for participating in today's training, and I look forward to working with you come October the 12th. Take care.